besties, welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry, I've tried to do this intro twice so far. Henny just won't quit. If you're new here and it's your first time seeing my face, my name is Trace and I create lifestyle content on this corner of YouTube. And if you're wondering who Henny is my English Springer Spaniel. He's my fur baby and he won't quit. So I don't know, are you gonna come say hi to the folks? There you go, you can kind of see a little bit of him. But either way, I wanted to hop on the camera because it's been a minute. I am going to do a meal prep video. I know many of you are here because you enjoy seeing that content, and it's been a hot minute since I've done a meal prep video. What can I say? Life got the best of me, and I was still a creature of routine and a creature of habit, but I was mostly meal prepping for a week. So I was doing a protein, and then I was just making the rest of my meals at home as I went because I had a lot of free time. But now that we're getting back in the swing of things, we're working and life is just going back to routine, I am ready to do a meal prep. So we're going to do a fall themed meal prep because we're doing some pre-fall things over here. I've been doing a lot of pre-fall baking lately, but the meal plan is going to be one meal. So I'm doing one pot meal and then I'm going to do a side, well, two sides. And we're just gonna do very fall themed. So I don't want to give it away too much because I'd love you to stick around and see what we're cooking up. I will tell you one thing, we are going to do a maple inspired sweet potato and broccoli melody, and the rest is going to be very fall. So why don't we get into some cooking, guys? All right, so I am back, and if we hear any noise, sorry, my voice just got really hoarse for I don't know what reason. I'm sharing the space with my mom. My mom is home, so she's gonna be watching TV. It's not gonna be anything super noisy or loud, but I just want to preface because I know sometimes, you know, we're vlogging, people want silence. I think that we should just live our day-to-day lives. She's really courteous and she does let me do my intro and my outro, but again, I'm not going to expect her to stop her life completely. So I don't know if you guys remember, seasoning jars, they are back in full effect. A lot of my things have been in boxes and I have not really felt the need or want or desire to unpack them, but life is just looking really different lately, so that's what we're doing. I am going to go ahead and season up my protein, so I'm going to pop you guys down on a different angle and I'm going to stop chatting. I will come back periodically to explain what I'm doing. Actually, before I do my protein, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my sweet potato. I'm going to cut those up and then we'll season them and get them in the oven because they're going to take about a half an hour to cook. The one pot meal that I'm making on the stovetop, I can slow cook it. Once everything cooks together, it'll just get a nice slow cook, so it doesn't necessarily need to be continuously monitored once it's on the stovetop. So I want to start with the things that are going to take the most amount of time and basically work my way to the easiest things. So yeah, let's get into meal prepping. I'm actually excited because I haven't done a prep video in a really long time for you guys, and I know some of you are probably missing that kind of content. Okay, so I'm making a seasonal pumpkin. Originally this called for cinnamon. I do have cinnamon, but I just think that since the allspice is already portioned out, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I'm adding cinnamon to this. So it's cinnamon. I'm adding maple syrup to this. So it's supposed to be like a maple cinnamon potato melody. It's just supposed to be really fall. So I figured I would give it a try, but we're gonna sub in the cinnamon for allspice.
So this, I'm not measuring. I'm gonna say just make sure that you toss everything around as best as you can. I felt that this bowl would have been the right size, but it's not. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and chop my broccoli up. I'm going to put it in the same bowl that I used for the potatoes after. I'm not going to add any more cinnamon or anything to it. I just wanted to have the flavor. And then again, what I'm going to do after is just put this on top of the sweet potato. That way it will take some of the aroma and it'll take some of the flavor. Now, the reason that I'm not putting the broccoli in now, and I sometimes do it, is just because it has a tendency to overcook if you try and do them all together, because the broccoli obviously doesn't need as much time as the sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes generally need about a half an hour to cook. It really depends on your oven and your settings, but give or take, I can get my potatoes cooked in an hour. Sorry, not an hour, in a half an hour. And then the good thing about that is I can do other things at the same time. Again, you can, if you wanted to, you could add more allspice and syrup to your broccoli, but I don't want it to be overpowering. I really don't want too much of that, I guess, maple, but the allspice wouldn't hurt. But I do think that I did put a lot of allspice on the potatoes as is. All right, so I completely forgot that I need to make my egg bites, but I'm actually not making an egg bite. What I'm going to make are frittata. Well, what I'm going to make is a frittata. Instead of making egg bites, I'm really liking making the frittata. Also, it is so much easier to clean up after. I found these silicone trays at Dollarama one year, and I love them. You literally put it in there and it pops out. And it's also the perfect ratio that I need for breakfast. Because sometimes when I make my egg bites, I like 12 egg bites. It's kind of a lot when you think about it, because I have probably 2 egg bites with my meals any given time. So sometimes you're left over with a few more. And on the weekends, I generally have a different breakfast than I would during the week. I don't generally have the same food, but I'm gonna grab the ingredients that we're gonna need. I'm gonna use some turkey bacon, then I'm gonna use some cottage cheese, and I have my eggs, and then I just have to grab the egg whites from inside the fridge. I know this probably seems a little chaotic, but because you can't see me, right? You can hear me though, and I really hope it's picking up. I've never had an issue with audio. So what I also like about this is you don't need a lot. Like for the egg bites, you need at least about 6 eggs sometimes, especially if you're not using egg whites. But the frittata, I use probably about 4 or 5 eggs, and then I use a little bit of egg whites just to spread things out. And then I add cottage cheese to get more protein. I'm realizing that you probably cannot see me and what I'm doing. I'm just adding the eggs in. So those are the 3 eggs that we have in there so far. And I'm just gonna grab 3 more. The area in which I'm filming, I don't have a lot of counter space. So that's why it might seem chaotic to you guys that I'm in and out, but it's functional for me because I have the fridge right beside me. So I don't have to worry too much about where I'm going and what I'm doing. But I figured it was a good time to do the frittata since I have the oven on. I can pop this in there, and then we can season up our chicken. I have it soaking in a bath right now. I know there's controversy all over the place about, do we need to clean our chicken? Do what you want with that. If you don't want to wash your chicken and that, then don't. So I'm just whisking this. Again, I don't think the bowl is going to be big enough, but because I'm using the bowl for something else. You can season your eggs if you want to. Sometimes I just add some pepper, but I don't know. I think for some it might be bland, but again, like if you're trying to watch the calories in, then like salt is probably not your best bet, but you can season this with like onion powder, garlic, and stuff like that. So that's probably what I'm gonna do, just to give it a little bit of flavor. I have some white pepper, and a lot of my seasoning jars I'm gonna have to refill, just because they're looking a little sparse, and it's crazy. I used to have these ordered by alphabetical order, so I knew what was what. Right now they're just on my counter, and they're probably gonna stay on my counter. They're gonna go beside my coffee machine, but I'll figure it out. So this is probably where I'm gonna go ahead and add egg whites. Just giving them a shake. It's crazy. I remember when I first started meal prepping, I think the big bottle of egg whites was $5 at the grocery store. I don't even think it was that expensive. I think it was like $3 something. And then they are now $9 when they're on sale, and they're $10 regular price. That's just extortion. Extortion. But I think that's just the way of the world now. So I am gonna go in with my cottage cheese. I think I already opened this. I think I had some the other day. I love cottage cheese. I've been eating this since I was little. And when I say I can just eat cottage cheese, I can sit there and I just eat it clean. I know that's kind of gross to some people. Some people don't particularly care for that, but I don't mind. I'm for it. So just give that a mix. And again, you could blend this if you wanted to. I like my cottage cheese, so I don't mind if I have like lumps of cottage cheese in my food. It really doesn't bother me. I'm just gonna set the bowl off to the side. Hopefully it doesn't spill over. But what I'm gonna do is just move the cutting board down. I have butterball turkey bacon here. I have quite a bit left over. This is something that I generally have in the morning, but for the frittata, I'm just gonna do 2 slices because you don't need a lot. And again, personal preference, like this is just how I prep. This is what I like to do, and it's what works for me. So and again, this doesn't have to be perfect. I just like them diced and sliced, just small, so that essentially almost each square has a decent amount of turkey bacon. I am going to pop off to the side and see if there's any grape tomatoes left. So we are in luck. If you look in this little basket, we have some grape tomatoes. These are from our garden. So is the kale. I just didn't take you guys outside with me because I would have to lift you up and bring you out. These are literally like little baby tomatoes. We even have a little bit of potatoes in there. So our garden, as you can see, it did pretty good this year. So I'm just gonna chop these up, but I'm gonna move this over. Again, this is all going in the same exact space. Like, the turkey bacon is going in the same exact place as the vegetables. So I'm not worried about them being on the same exact cutting board. It's not really cross-contamination in a sense because it's getting cooked together. Now, I will say the thing with these baby tomatoes is you have to be gentle when you're cutting them because they will gush. Like if you think regular tomatoes are gushing everywhere, these are pretty juicy. That's just nice because we have a variety of different colors because they're ripening at different times. I'm not particular about the stem on these ones. I don't really care. I try my best to get them off when I can, but you see how small these little tomatoes are. And again, as I did say, they have a tendency to like gush everywhere, so it's not the greatest sometimes. But we do what we must. So again, it wouldn't be a meal prep without some kind of egg component. I know some of y'all are probably here for the egg bites, but if I'm being honest, it's really tough sometimes. And my neighbors, they are having a party. So there is a house on the block that is going up for sale. They're currently renovating the place, getting it ready to, I think they're flipping it, to be honest. My mom says they wouldn't be doing so much work, like cleaning out the backyard and doing all of these things if they were planning on moving in. So we think that they're flipping it, but they are, I think they're working hard and playing real hard outside, which can't really fault them. Like, our neighborhood is pretty quiet for the most part, and our neighbors are pretty chill. There's like the occasional person out there who will have like a little tissy fit, but they're not troubling anybody. At least I don't think. All right, so we're just gonna swap out. I'm gonna pop the tray down. So as you can see, it's just a little tiny square tray. But again, it gets the job done. You don't have to worry too much about anything like mess, fuss. It's just really easy to use. So I'm just going ahead and pouring the mixture into the bowl. I'm gonna just grab my spoon and just scrape out any of the extra like remnants that's there. If there happens to be any like kale, broccoli, mix that up together just to spread it around, and I'm gonna pop this in the oven. This takes about 20 minutes to cook, but I usually check it and watch it because you really want to make sure that the center is cooked all the way through. So sometimes it can be finicky. Now I'm gonna go ahead and season up the chicken. So if this part bothers you, just skip it because it is raw meat. And if you don't want to see that, then skip. And I will leave a timestamp for you to resume with us when we start back up. So I'm just going in with some Caribbean spice seasoning, going in with some pepper, and we are going to go in with some cumin. Can you guess what we're making now that I've dropped in the cumin? We are making chili, but we're not making any chili. I do love me a good old hearty chili sometimes, like a beef chili with minced meat. But anytime I am making chicken chili, we know that I'm making a different type of chili. So I am making white chicken chili. I absolutely love it. Now, I will say that it's probably not the healthiest of chilies, but you can make it your way and add an alternative. So I'm just gonna add some onion powder to this. Okay, so you can't see the pot, but basically what I'm doing is I'm just going in and adding a little bit more pepper and cumin and all of that, just to give the pot some seasoning. I did put my raw herbs in here, so the garlic, the scallions, and some onion, just to caramelize that stuff and then also to give the chicken some flavor. But I do really want it to have a little bit more flavor since I didn't have time to marinate the chicken prior, and it's okay. The thing with chili, sorry, my elbow was in your face. Hopefully they're not too ashy. Thanks. The good thing with chili, I've always found, is chili is always better the next day. It's one of those things that as it's had time to sit, it really soaks up the flavor and it takes the flavor of what you're making. So I'm just gonna pop the lid on real quick and then I'm gonna come back. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add my ingredients to the pot that we're gonna use for our chili. So first up, I'm going in with some vegetable broth. This is by PC, so it's no name. It's not the President's Choice brand, but no name. You can get it at your Loblaws, your Maxis, things of that nature. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to measure. I don't know how much is in here. So there's 900 milliliters. That's definitely not gonna be 2 cups, but it's okay. I don't want to use the whole container. I think it would be way too much. So I think there's about 3 cups of vegetable broth in there. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use it all just so that there's not any leaf back and nothing goes to waste inside the fridge. Originally I thought I would not use it all, but it's okay. What I am gonna do though is I'm gonna add some water to this just because I don't believe that this is reduced sodium. So it's not. For 1 cup, there's 30% sodium in here, so that's quite a bit. That's a lot. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know if it's going to focus on you guys, but you can probably see that at the bottom. So I'm going to cut it with some water. I'm going to probably add, so that was a cup, I'm going to add 2 cups of water just to be safe. That way it gives it just a little bit. You can see my phone here, we're doing short form at the same time. So what I'm gonna do, because right now it just looks like soup, I'm going to bring this to a boil and then I'm gonna bring it back down. So I'll show you. Right now we're looking like soupy soup and I just wanna bring that to a simmer, kind of thicken it up a little bit. I'm just gonna bring it to high. My broccoli's done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pop in and check on the eggs. I'm pretty sure the eggs are done. When I moved everything over, it was really nice and set, but I just want to make sure, because as I said, you don't want, like, you want the center to be fully cooked. That is how you would get salmonella. All right, so I'm gonna bring you over. They look good. I'm just gonna flip you around. So there we have it. That is our frittata there. It actually looks really good. And the cheese is not still in really big curds. So that's good. So if you didn't want to blend it, you wouldn't really have to worry about that. I am going to let it set out for a little bit. Then we'll cut it and we'll store it and we'll put it away in a little bit. I don't know if I showed you the broccoli and the sweet potato yet, but that's our melody there. I will show you everything once it's cooked and it's all good to go. Okay, so next up, I'm going with corn. This is a frozen bag of corn and it's just the whole kernels. Again, everything that you're going to see here is pretty much no name, from Loblaws, Maxi, PC, No Frills, all of those, because this, it's Canadian. So if you're recognizing a trend, that's why. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to pop this whole entire bag into our pot. And again, I'm doing short form and long form. There's no shame in our game. I usually generally do that. I've always done that when I'm meal prepping. So for your white chicken chili, there are so many recipes out there. But again, find what works for you. Eat the things that you like. Now, the reason that this is not the healthiest is because most recipes, people are adding cream, they're adding cream cheese. I'm only doing one. I'm not doing both. And I don't even think I'm gonna use a whole packet of cream cheese. I'm gonna see. And the reason that cream cheese is used, it's because that's what gives it its coloring. Now, it doesn't have to be really white because, again, I did put paprika, I put other things in there. So it's gonna essentially take the color that you put in there, but it's called white chicken chili because of the color. It's essentially white. It's not your red, hearty chili that we're used to. But I've made white chicken chili before. I absolutely love it. Again, I'm not following a particular recipe at the moment. I'm literally just going and adding the basics because I've made it before. I've looked at other recipes, but you make the food the way that you want. And especially if you're on a lifestyle change, you're trying to be healthier, you have to make the modifications so that they fit you where they fit in. So I'm gonna let this simmer for a bit, and then I'm gonna come back. We're gonna add the cream cheese, then we're gonna slow cook everything. And I'm probably looking around, probably 9 o'clock is when meal prep is gonna be done. But if I'm being honest, there's a reason why meal prep is happening so late today. Today is Saturday, and Saturday is going to be the day that I'm going to do my meal preps. But Saturday is also the day that my mom is off, so that's my off day. That's the day where I can hang out with her, chill with her. I'm a mama's girl. I really do love spending time with my mom. She is my best friend. I mean, I think you're allowed to have more than one best friend in life, but my mom is truly my best friend, and I like spending time with her. And we did have a really good time today, so that is why prep is happening later. We went out for dinner and we hung out together, so I had already had the chicken out. I knew what I was going to meal prep, so it's easy. Again, I know sometimes people say meal prepping is a chore, it takes so long, but once you do it, honestly, there's no chore behind it. Like my dishes, I wash, I clean as I go. So right now, what dish do I have? I have the dish that we're using to stir the pot. I have the silicone pan that the eggs were in. I have the tray that the broccoli was on. And that's it so far for dishes. So the pot, I'm left with 3 major dishes. I cleaned the cutting board that the egg is resting on right now on the silicone tray, the spatula. So essentially just clean as you go. And if you have meals that you like doing, I know sometimes it seems like, okay, all you do is make egg bites for breakfast. Well, guess what? I like egg bites, and it's easy, it's simple. I'm looking for things that are going to simplify my life. I don't want to make an egg muffin sandwich because 1, it's not going to really keep, and 2, that's more work for me. I have to worry about the English muffin, I have to worry about the filling that's going to go inside it. There's so many other things. It's great if you have the time and you want to do that, not knocking it, but for those of you who are complaining that it could take a long time, simplify your life. Also, try and use like one thing. For instance, stovetop cooking, oven cooking. If you're doing a lot of meals, you could essentially cook everything in the oven. But because I'm doing one pot chili today, then essentially I need the stovetop. But most times I really try to meal prep where I have my protein going in the oven, I have my side going in the oven, I have my breakfast going in the oven. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. And there is one item that we're not going to make today, but I will talk about it. It's a salad. I don't like prepping my salad because by the time midweek comes, your lettuce is soggy, everything's soggy. It takes 2 seconds to make a salad. So I can either make a salad before I go to work in the morning, or I can make a salad the night before and it'll keep. Anything above that, it's gonna get soggy. Nobody likes eating soggy lettuce. But either way, that is it for my meal prep TED Talk. If we ever want to do like a Q&A meal prep style, let me know, because I've been meal prepping for about 4, 5, 6 years. 6, maybe 7. Started my weight loss journey a long time ago, and I've gone up, gone down. I'm currently going back down, and I notice it, I feel it, I see it. And a lot of that had to do with cutting out sugar, but I would be down to do a meal prep video because, again, I've been prepping for so many years that I would love to share my tips, my tricks with you. If it's something that you'd be interested in doing, meal prep, Q&A, let me know in the comments. But either way, I've got some things that I want to do. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm probably going to spend all of Monday editing this video, or I'm going to start tomorrow and Monday, just because I don't actually start work yet. I'm going to probably do a life update video and talk about that, but I'm looking at probably starting in about another week. So I'm probably, honestly, not I'm going to be doing a life update video. So yeah, but either way, I have a lot of appointments on Monday. So that's the only thing. I have some appointments on Monday that I need to do, but one of them is in the afternoon. So I'll probably, I want to get this out. I've been on a streak where I've been doing 2 videos a week. I talked about it. I'm committed. I am locked in. I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing. So either way, I'm going to just let this simmer a little bit more, and I'm probably going to taste it just to see if we need to add any more paprika and stuff. Like once we add our cream cheese, it's just a matter of simmering. So this is probably gonna simmer. I'm gonna try and aim for 9 o'clock simmer, but if I only want to do it for half an hour, do it for half an hour. But either way, that's what it is. Okay, so I have my half brick of cream cheese. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it into the pot. I don't know if I'm gonna put the whole pack in, as I said before, but we'll see. We'll see how white it gets, and that'll basically be my deciding factor. I thought it was softened enough. It doesn't seem to be. So basically, just gonna get it to soften up a bit. I can already see the color changing as let me bring you guys closer. I don't have a good angle for you guys, so just bear with me. Once I get you to the pot, again, I'm trying to do it far enough that it doesn't smoke you guys out completely. But yeah, so basically, as you can see, it's getting lighter in color as the cream cheese disintegrates. I'm probably gonna add the other one in, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add the other piece of cream cheese. It'll get lighter. So essentially that's what it looks like. It'll thicken up once I bring the pot down. I brought the pot down to 2. It was boiling before, but I did bring it down to 2. I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks on me a minute ago, but it was like I wasn't in focus, so I turned the camera off, turned it back on. But I think I'm in focus now. Either way, the little box is it's tracking me and it's following me. So I don't know if I'm gonna add the other cream cheese because now it's a little bit lighter. But essentially, I don't have anything else as a thickening agent in here, so I think I will add it. Like I didn't put cream in here. I didn't want cream. Sorry, I don't know why. I don't want that box on my face. But yeah, I'm gonna add the other one in. I'm really apprehensive, but I think I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. The other reason I'm apprehensive is because of the calories. Yeah. But again, I'm not eating a whole brick of cream cheese. So I just know it's gonna splash. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm just squeezing out the packet of cream cheese. Okay, so as you can see, once it gets mixed up, it's much lighter than it was before. The the cream cheese is still pretty much intact for the most part. There's a few lumps, but as you can see, it just gets a little bit whiter, but again, it has that orange-esque color because of the paprika, but that's essentially what white chicken chili looks like. So we're just gonna let this simmer and cook down for a bit because right now it's giving soup, but again, I think it's because of the amount of chicken broth that I had put into the pot along with the what do you call it, along with the water. All right, so I'm pretty much done meal prepping. I just realized there's probably a glare from my light because what I'm trying to do is bring you over to show you the finished meal prep and we can talk about it. If you hear that clunk, 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 that's Henny just chomping away at his food. Sorry, I'm just checking my nails just to make sure that they're still okay. So yeah, let's turn you around. So this is not everything, obviously. And as you can see on the sides of the container, so it's white and it's just separated, so it's pretty much like the paprika and the oil at the top that has gone ahead and separated. Once I mix it up, it'll be like that white consistency. I have 4 of the chilies here. One is set off to the side. This is our sweet potato and broccoli. I did try the sweet potato. Putting allspice on it does change it drastically. I wish I knew that sooner. And this is our breakfast. So I'm gonna pop you guys down. We're gonna talk because there's one thing here that I did not prep. Okay, so the one item that's not here that I did look up, I was looking up a fall inspired salad, so we will talk about it. So for the salad, it's basically walnuts, greens,
and goat cheese. You can add apples if you want. I don't have any apples on hand, so we're not going to do the sliced apple. But I was looking for a fall-esque salad because this whole entire meal prep, I wanted it to kind of be fall. The weather is getting a little bit chillier, so we're slowly transitioning into fall. So I wanted to do something that would, you know, be cozy and ultimately healthy at the same time. So again, that's my meal prep there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It is 8:58 on the clock. I don't know if all of our clocks are the same time. Yeah, so all of the clocks in the house are the same time. So it's 8:58. I decided to take the pot off of the stove, and I figured everything can just simmer in the bowls as they cool off. They will thicken and it will be chili. It will not be soup, because right now it is still giving a little bit soup vibe. But I do feel like chili sometimes does do that. It's not super thick. I think it's only really thickened when you add more vegetables and like a base to it. I feel like meat chili, like beef hamburger style chili, like ground minced meat chili, is a little bit thicker than say your chicken chili. Also, I know some people like to shred their chicken. I don't really care, much or less. I don't really care if it's shredded or not. I'm fine with it being chopped up into little cubes, and it did get smaller as I cooked it down, and I know it's softened, so that's all that really matters to me. Again, it's been a long time since we did a meal prep video, so please let me know in the comments, were you excited to watch this video? Are you happy that we're back to prepping? I cannot wait to really get back to meal prepping because I do miss it. The thing is, I'm a creature of habit. So once I really love a meal, I tend to recreate it. Like last week, I prepped broccoli casserole, chicken and broccoli bake, and I love chicken broccoli bake, but there's only so much chicken broccoli bake that one person wants to make or eat. But I'm a creature of habit, so once I like a meal and I know that it's quick and easy, I tend to gravitate towards that. Sweet potatoes are always going to be part of my meal prep, and some variation of egg bites or some kind of egg casserole is going to be breakfast. Either way, let me know in the comments, what are you looking forward to for fall? I know for myself, I've been baking up a storm, so I'm going to continue looking forward to baking and trying new things for the fall season. Either way, if you made it this far to the video, I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and say my dues. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, whatever time it is that you guys are seeing this. Take care, guys. Bye.